to another episode of Excel Learning Series with Texel Philippines. I am Arabel Giagonia, and in today's episode, we will learn the logical category functions of Excel, particularly the functions if, or, and the AND function. So how does logical functions work, and what are their uses? Logical category functions are used in spreadsheets to test whether a situation is true or false. You can then choose to take one action or another based on the outcome of that test. These selections may be used to show data, carry out more calculations, or run additional tests. So now, let's start with the if function in Excel, which is one of the most popular functions when it comes to logical comparisons. Here, you can run a test, and if the test is a success, that means it is true, then you can return a specific value, and if the test fails, that is, if it returns false, then you can return a certain value. Now, let us take a close look. In the C6, I'm going to start typing in the function formula by pressing the symbol equal first. Since whenever we make a formula in Excel, it should always start with an equal symbol. Now, if I have this function, the first argument is a logical test. So my test will be if this value that is in grades column acquired less than 75, assuming that 74 or less is a failed candidate, it will mark as failed, and if not, it will mark as passed. So now let's try and type in our formula. So then type its condition, so B6 is less than 75, and if it meets this condition or if the value is true, then it will mark as failed. But if the value is false or if it doesn't meet the condition, it will mark as passed. So that means that whoever got a value with less than 75 failed, and those who didn't passed. And that's it. Let's take a look at everyone else. Let's take a look. Gandalf and Batista got a failed remark because their final grade is below 75, while the others passed since they got above 75. I hope you understood how the if function is used. Now, moving on to the next function, we will be learning the OR function, which is used to run multiple logical tests, and if any of the tests is true, it will return true. And if and only if all the results or all the testing conditions are false, only then it will return false. In simple words, OR function returns true if any of the testing conditions meet the conditions, even if it is only one or everything, and it returns false if all the testing conditions does not meet the condition. Now let's input the formula by the condition to have true on the students who got passing grades. So, or parenthesis, if B6 is greater than 74, or C6 is greater than 74, or D6 is greater than 74, or E6 is greater than 74. Set then close parenthesis. And here, this resulted true since these scores are more than 74. And the others also reflected true since all of them got at least one or more passing grades. What if we change Batista's scores into 74, 70, 71, and 73? It returns false since none of them met the condition, which also means Batista failed. And that is the OR function. I hope this is clear. Now, lastly, to the AND function. The AND function is very clear to the name itself. It means that all the conditions should meet in order to succeed. So that is, if A is true and B is true, then it returns true. And similarly, if any given test fails, it will return false. Now, let's input the formula. And parentheses and B6, if B6 is greater than 74 and C6 is greater than 74. Now, here we can see that Bella got a true return. So that means that all the testing conditions in her row met the conditions. 84 and 78 are obviously greater than 74. Thus, true. Now, let's see the others. Oh, there are two who got false, and that is because all their testing conditions didn't meet the condition, which they should be greater than 74. So, do you understand now? It's quite easy, right? I hope you understood well the three common functions of the logical category. See you next time. Thank you for watching.